8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So hi Zim, it's 10 a.m. Let's turn down the book. I couldn't sleep, maybe there. I couldn't sleep, so I took a pill, sleeping pill. Until I drift, I will play. The video today, I was thinking maybe should be smaller because Eurovision will be up. My father said that you wanted to watch Eurovision because you you wanna vote Claudia. Anyways, thank you for that. You didn't have to, but thank you. That's why I was thinking maybe making a smaller video so that you don't have to stress yourself too much with content. So I will play until I drift, essentially. Just oops. Maybe here. How long will this intro be? It's crazily big. So I will try to play at least 20 minutes. The deal with the pill is that it takes over in 20. Let's see how this goes. Okay. Can I turn it down? I know I played more with the light than I played the fucking game.
That was a cool store.
Okay.
I liked the instruments.
Stop for no reason. Sorry, I turned it all the way down. My eyes. That was the reason. Okay, we have this.
I saw that, like, right before you picked it up. Okay, you can have the credit. No, I don't care. I'm just saying. Too late. Credit's yours.
I have no idea where the you can't see anything, right? My insomniac eyes. Better? Yeah.
Go get him, Ethan.
I'm Thanor.
Ethan's back to his old self, thank God. What a great kid.
Ethan's got a lot of people who care about him.
Okay, so I went to... I played the game and I never remember what I have to do, so... We went to the lantern, we went to Steph, we took the gems. Now we have to go back to Jed. Okay, we have a scroll of neediness again.
Did you see this scroll first?
No.
Alright. He's brave and he's honest.
How the fuck am I gonna go up? Fuck my life. I am from these people who play a game 5-6 times and they don't remember shit after they have finished. Okay. Dollar. Okay, we show the dollar. Oh, okay.
Oh my god. It's my mom.
Feanor, the monster slayer, you've come at last. Do you remember me from your past adventures?
You're Netheria, the forest spirit.
You have done well on your quest. The forest notices. She offers a treasure for you to claim. Look, there.
What is that? The Sky Sword. It's the Sky Sword of Power. It's exactly the same as I drew in the comics. It's got the pincer and the same grip. And it's got this part for the jewels. How do they do it? Can I really take it?
Use it for good? Netheria said so. Netheria said so, obviously.
Of course. Netheria said so, right?
Okay.
Now we are in his world, we see his emotions. Alex see his emotions. Helga, do you see me like that when you are entering my mind? Yes. Yes, this is how it is. By all probabilities, the people who made this probably know. Now, I'm not saying that they are mystics. I'm saying that probably they have a connection with God because only God can give you that, not Zeus. And that's why usually when you see developers, they are very open with their spirituality and they say what they know. Okay, there are people, they don't have to know everything and deeper stuff like I would or whatever, but they are very open because people who believe in Yahweh are very open. And when I say believe in Yahweh, I don't mean declaring I believe in Yahweh. I mean when you the God that you have in your head is actually Yahweh. You can actually believe in Zeus and you say I believe in Zeus, and the pattern you have when you believe in Zeus actually Yahweh, like this is how I believed in my father as well. Like I believed in Zeus, but my spirit was shouting Yahweh. So you can actually shout Yahweh with your mouth, but your heart might say Zeus. Does that make any sense? So about now Alex, she sees the world from his eyes. Yes, I can do that. If my father gives me enough perspective, like when he shows me something that you experienced, something you felt, yes, I can go deeply inside your head like that. But that's not something that I will initiate. It's something that my father permits, allows, and initiates, and I can be inside your head at that point. Helga, are you inside my head? Like literally, no, no. No, I'm not going inside you, Zay. I'm not possessing you. No, I just can see the world from your eyes inside my head. That's how it works for me. I can see your emotions, I can feel your emotions, I can see how you see things, and yeah, I can see you from your perspective, let's say. And so now one day I saw something that you passed a day at school. I think it was 1989, right? You had something that happened at school. Do you remember? That was the day that I was discussing with you. Do you remember, like when you learned that I know something about that specific date from my father? I think it was 1989. It makes sense that it was then. And I saw you in the corner and you were very upset in your class. For some moments before I saw you, I saw the other girl, the girl that I had in my class. And then when I saw her and I was like, why is she there? Then I saw you and I was like, so she's similar with my husband. That was my initial reaction. I'm not saying deeper stuff there because I have to protect the other girl as well in that, okay? But you know what I'm talking about. And I saw you upset. I'm not gonna go inside your head. I know what you were thinking. I can't do that on the internet, but you were very upset. I saw the kids laughing with you, bullying you. I heard what they were talking. Helga, did you hear them in Chinese? No, I heard them in Greek. I heard them in my language so that it is intelligible for me and I can understand what they are saying. Okay, makes sense. So I heard that, I was able to understand what they were talking about. It was horrible, I know, it was horrible. I have been bullied and I know how you feel, okay? What else can I say about that without giving too much about the content? You were very upset, you maybe scared a little bit, guilty, and you definitely wanted to be somebody else, I would say. Nobody told me this stuff, okay? I just felt your head and I'm just telling you what I felt from your head when you were a kid, okay? So maybe you say Helga, it was very much close to that. That's Helga, a woman, so many years later, I wasn't even born back then, saying to you how she thinks you were feeling. But if I have to evaluate from my perspective as a prophet how you felt it, I would say probably mostly I saw sadness, and then I saw a sense of guilt, anger, a sense of you wanting to be somebody else, and terror, kind of, okay? I felt all these emotions. Now after that I saw a scene. You were in type of a garage, in your garage, how you pronounce this word, American or English? Anyways, you understand where you are putting the car. I'm not quite sure if it was one though. It had some tools. It was like a bunker with a door that is automatic, that goes like, you know, like that. I don't know if that makes sense, you know. And up, down, maybe. I speculate it was like that. I didn't really see the door. I just saw the the building. Don't know if that makes sense. And I just saw it was 1989. I think it was 1989. I'm not quite sure if it's many months ago, but this is what I think I saw. Anyways, and you were outside the the building, and you were crying. Okay, and you said something about your back. Helga, what did I say? I won't say. What did you say? You said something. You were crying and you said something about your back. Okay. I'm not gonna say more. I'm just giving you details so that you can understand what I'm talking about. But I'm giving you enough details so that if somebody hears the audio, the video, they won't get a clue what the fuck I am talking about. That's why I'm speaking like that. Maybe you hear me and say, Helga, you make it obvious. No, trust me. Trust me. I'm doing this job very long time now. No, I'm not giving anything away. If somebody hears that, they are just hearing me speaking about like an apothecary, like a banker, and you crying and saying something about your back that they don't hear anything. Trust me, they don't hear anything. It's not that I am in my own head and I think that they don't hear. No, they don't. They just hear something intelligible. You are the only one who understands right now what I'm talking about, okay? So, yeah, leave that aside. You said something about your back, and you said that crying, you were very upset, and I'm trying to find a way how to say this. You were very tired. Like, if I could say, fuck my life, like, I'm just getting inside your head again, I suppose. When you were a kid, you behaved like an adult, and that's fuck my life. That I'm really sorry about that. And now you are an adult and you behave like a kid, and I wish I could fuck every person that made you so upset in your life. Honestly, like this is. If you don't understand what I'm talking about, the way you were when you were a kid, as I saw you, you were an adult before your time. Okay, and with that I mean, you grew up faster than you should. And I'm not saying that to make you upset. I also grew up faster than I should because of Zeus. So that makes both of us, okay? But the dreams that I have from you now that you are in your 40s, the way you talk to my dad, the way I see you talking to me, you give me the opposite. You are an adult that speaks like a kid. They have fucked you up so hard, like the people that came into your life all those years, all those 40 years have fucked you so hard. I'm so sorry about that, honestly. Like it's heartbreaking, and I'm not saying that to play I have to pity you. No, I'm just saying that I understand you. That's what I'm saying. That I love you and I understand you, and I'm not saying that as a hypocrite, okay? So yeah, I have been there. That's why I'm trying to act like a kid all the time, because I don't wanna let my traumas define me, okay? Hope this helps a little bit. So back to Alex. This made the video very dark. Maybe it was needed. As you can see, Alex can see his emotions. Yes, this is how I feel your emotions. Maybe I don't interpret them exactly how you feel them, or maybe I do interpret them as they are. Maybe. And maybe you don't have the ability to interpret your own emotions accurately yet. That is if you disagree with my interpretation, okay? If you agree, that's okay, but this is how I see your head as an 8-year-old, 7-year-old, however much you were back then. Yeah, hope this explains. Let's play. I'm coming to an end of the gameplay anyways.
Bard, a song, if you please.
Okay, prophecy fulfilled, monsters beware. Prophecy fulfilled,
The
because I'm a
prophecy
prophet.
is fulfilled at last. Nothing knows might is unsurpassed.
sword now, and the jewels.
Zé, did you see that Jed is the bad person and he began as the good person? Yeah, it's a parallel of what happens in real life. And if you're like, Helga, you know, you say that because this is what happens in the game. No. I think when the producers made the story, this slipped off their tongue by mistake. Because it's exactly how a plot twist works. He was a good guy, a good king, and now he is the bad guy, like Saruman. That's a parallel. It's the allegory within the allegory. Like Life is Strange is an allegory, the game is an allegory. So it's back to itself, like a deja vu inside the deja vu. Okay, so he plays his real life counterpart. Alexandra is the bard. In some way, Theanor slash Ethan is the protagonist. He is the reason everything happened in the game. Alexandra is the protagonist, but she's moving because everybody else moves in the game. Okay, Steph, Ryan, everybody exists. All the major characters exist. Like Steph, Ryan, Ducky, Charlotte, everybody. But Jed began as a good guy and he deceived us midway. Okay, that's if I understand correct the language, when the guys made the game, this slipped off their tongues, and maybe they saw it and they said, okay, let's keep it. It's a good parallel. Maybe somebody will pick from this. You get what I mean?
Storm Rider, the undead. I should have known King.
Storm Rider, the undead. Storm, Zeus, the undead. Undead is not really a good word in English. It's the person who is like a zombie, powered by George Agamben. Ze, you get what I mean? Do you get what I mean now? Like the symbolism, how deep it is. I don't think the producers knew that when they did that. It's just subconscious, because my father was working through them. Because my father will work with anybody. He's a very friendly person. Zeus wouldn't give a fuck about
Tabor
something.
was you all
Oops, my Zeus would never give a fuck about that.
along.
You fools! You have collected the jewels I need and brought them right to me!
He said we should have understood when you were the king, something like that. Didn't he say that you were a traitor? Yes, exactly. Okay, defy Storm Rider, encourage Tenor. Ohi. Ohi is no in Greek. Ohi. It's like O-H-I. Okay. Defy Storm Rider. Yeah, defy him.
You're wrong. The jewels are now part of the weapon that will slay you.
The weapon has 3 jewels. Helga, why? Yeah, the weapon is a sword. The sword is God's word, right? The word of God slashes like a sword that is double-edged. It has 3 jewels. The Holy Spirit, the Son, the Father. Can you see now how it works? The sword slashes the Storm Rider, the undead, the Antichrist, Zeus. And if you're like, Helga, that's very... Yes, that's my job. I'm a prophet. This is also the story of Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. You had the Sword of Gryffindor, Godric Gryffindor, and this was able to be used against the basilisk, and it killed the snake. It literally pierced the snake and killed it, because it was the word of God fighting the ancient serpent Leviathan devil. Makes sense now what this whole thing is. Chamber of Secrets, it's a room that it is a secret. Only those who speak parcel tongue can enter, and especially those who are connected with Salazar Slytherin one way or the other. The heir of Slytherin, like, let's say, the false prophet, Slytherin perhaps himself, and then maybe Dumbledore, who was speaking parcel tongue, he taught himself. Harry Potter, who had the ability. Later on, Ron, who learned from Harry Potter how to speak parcel tongue. Only if you spoke the language of the snakes, you could enter the Chamber of Secrets. Why? Because it's the language of the snake, the devil. You get what I mean? It's a secret room that you can access only if you can speak the language of the serpents. Can you see now the deeper symbolism? Nobody knew that. Nobody. You have to have the ability to translate the language of the literature, like the spiritual language, to explain the meaning. This is what the story says, the Chamber of Secrets. It's about mysticism and how you access the chamber that is accessed only by those who have the knowledge, by talking the spiritual language. Only those who are initiated can enter in the secret. Okay? And only one person can conjure the basilisk. So the basilisk doesn't listen to anybody. He listens only to the heir who speaks parcel tongue. That's the false prophet and the devil. And those that he persecutes are those who are unworthy to study magic, the muggles. Everybody else apart who? The Athenian Greeks, right? Doesn't that make any sense? And what else happened? Harry Potter entered there, he tried to kill the snake. Fox blinded the basilisk. Can you see the meaning? It's the black cat of Coraline blinding the other mother. The fox Phoenix used himself as a weapon when Harry / Coraline had an issue with the snake / the other mother by attacking and blinding the enemy. Why? Because the eyes are the windows of the soul in spirituality. That means that you can see anything from there, okay? And if you blind that, they are actually not able, deceive you. That's what it means. That's how I would translate it if you ask me how you see it. The other mother had buttons. She couldn't show, as a result, she didn't have to actually show emotion from her buttons, because she didn't have realized she had buttons, expressionless. So you didn't know, does she feel nice, does she feel bad? No, you don't know. That's how also Perseus and Creon are. If you remember, they have expressionless dark eyes. That's not something about people who have dark eyes, no. They are expressionless. You don't know what they are thinking. They are working in the shadows because they are mystics, right? So you have the other mother, she doesn't really show her emotions. No, she doesn't. And so does the basilisk. When you look at the basilisk, you petrify. You become stone, okay? The same is Medusa, is a Greek myth. Medusa became a woman that had snakes as her hair, and when you looked at her, you were getting petrified. It's very much connected with the basilisk. So we have a cat which has claws, and a phoenix which also has claws. What is the connection of the cat and the phoenix? The phoenix is a bird. The Holy Spirit is a bird. It's a dove. And God is represented by the Lion of Judah. A lion and a cat are the same species, felines, okay? So, they are the same person, they are God. God is attacking the serpent, other mother, aka Zeus, the devil. and they are blinded, he is blinded, and so they can't harm the protagonist anymore. What is this? That's the crucifixion of Jesus in a nutshell. He disarmed the devil. He took everything from him and he mocked him on the cross by sacrificing, throwing himself in the face of the basilisk / other mother. He disarmed the devil because you couldn't do that. The basilisk was stronger. You needed a strong lawyer, as I said. And this is what happened. Okay. So they are attacked, and then Harry has the sword, and also Thenor has the sword, and they can attack now. They have disarmed the devil by God, and God gives them also how to disarm the devil forever. So he gives them power as the firstborn. Jesus gives us the ability because of his crucifixion. Do you remember when Paul said he's the firstborn of everybody? That doesn't mean that he's like a human. No, it means that he was like born from a virgin and he was like a new Adam. That's what it means. New creation. That's the meaning. But it doesn't mean that Jesus was a creature. He wasn't. He's God. He's Yahweh. Jesus is Yahweh, and we have to say more times this than we actually do because we have forgotten who he is, you know. So I hope this explained a little bit. So let's continue.
Give them to me!
Okay, attack. Okay.
Horrid disharmony.
Okay.
Strike of wrath!
Healing serenade.
Fire blast!
Electric key!
Crap!
Okay, I don't know if we will even...
Untuned chords.
Unholy lightning storm! Death to all who defy me!
Can you hear Zeus in all this? Okay, I think we are cooked.
Scroll of healing.
Ah, okay, that helped.
Stirring him.
Burning blade!
Hypnotic fugue.
Transfixed by that gorgeous music! Curse this fire!
Burning blade!
Stirring him.
Okay, we won't see.
We did it!
I can't believe what just happened.
Scary, fun, epic.
That last fight was epic.
Yeah, but the best part was finding...
Oh, he hears them in his memory. Oh my god. We got out of his world. Yeah.
Gabe's dead. Gabe's dead because of me. It's my fault. I killed Gabe. I killed Gabe. I killed Gabe.
Ethan? Listen to me. It wasn't your fault. At all. It wasn't. Okay? It wasn't.
This hurts very much, like I am actually in tears. That's why I say, fuck my leg. Never make a story without my father's approval, because now you are crying because a character died and you don't really have the answer why. Like if you ask me why your father permits other people dying, I don't know, but that character isn't even a real person and they have killed him. And when we ask why he died, we don't really have the answer. Because my father didn't create the character. The character is a fictional person that somebody else created, and so they are their creation. Not in the sense every good creation comes from my father, but you are dealing with the character. So whatever backstory you give them, they actually become yours, and you become God in the place of God. Okay, that if that makes sense. I'm not saying you are God. I'm just explaining how it works. So now we are crying about a character that doesn't even exist, and you haven't heard my father's word in this, and I'm sure that if he created the story, I don't even know why I'm crying like this. He would prefer it to be like that. Maybe Gabe was in a hospital, maybe he was in a coma, maybe if he got resurrected. My father would have given a very better, much better story than this one. This one sucks gazillion. And that's also always my problem with Life is Strange. The stories are fucking amazing, but when you refuse my father's truth and you embrace a false gospel, you end up having something that is bitter. Yes, it resembles the truth, but it's not the truth. You are trying to mimic the truth because this comes from Zeus, and Zeus wants you to be accurate with the truth, but the truth is you never know what the truth is. Okay, like Zeus says, you are mimicking reality. No, you don't. No, you are not God. You aren't God. God permits and doesn't permit some stuff because he is above. He is holy. He knows better. Even when we don't make sense, he knows better. Okay, so when you try to play him, you will always fall short. It's like, as my favorite priest from Greece says, Geron Nectarios, when a fly dies, does it know why it dies? Because a person killed it? No, because the fly isn't in the head of the person, that the person thinks the fly is dead and has to die because it might contaminate with bacteria. No, the fly knows that it died. This is, he said, how we work with God. We don't know why things happen to us, but God has a purpose. Maybe his example isn't perfect, but it is a very good demonstration of this idea. That's why I am so disappointed by creators of games, if that makes sense. You don't know why God did it, so don't do it playing my father. You will never, whatever you do, when you try to say, I did this, I killed this character because this is alive, because this is how we're supposed to, you will never, the answers you give never make sense. It's spiritual, that's why you cry and you ask why he died, because this is spiritual and you haven't taken authority by my father to do that. My father would have never done that. I don't know why I'm crying, but my father, the closest to death he ever said in a parable was the guy that was beaten, and a good Samaritan passed and helped him. And he treated his wounds and he took him in an inn. And he didn't die, he was alive. And people have forgotten how my father is speaking, and they're saying he died, she died, because Zeus stories, all his stories are about people dying. All his stories. Bacchae by Euripides, Helen of Troy, the people who went to Troy and died. Okay, Greeks and Trojans, Sophocles, Antigone, Oedipus, every fucking story he has distorted by my father. All the stories are about killing people off, and they never make sense. They are always so dark. Okay, so what I'm saying in this video now is the other time that my father said something gloomy was the story of Lazarus and the rich man, and the rich man died as Lazarus, but Lazarus was in the bosom of Abraham, and the rich man didn't go to the bosom of Abraham, and they have misinterpreted the story very much. The story is not about going to hell. Abraham is actually God, and Lazarus is the poor servant that actually has a word for his tribulations in the earth, and the rich person will suffer the consequences. I don't know exactly what the consequences are, but what I know is that it's not about hell, because hell is a Greek pagan idea, doesn't exist in the Bible. If somebody says, Helga, you say you don't know because you are wrong, because you interpret the Bible according to your Bailing, no, according to your pathetic, hypocritical understanding of the Bible, demonic understanding of the Bible, you know everything. I say that my father knows everything and you don't know shit, and I don't know shit. This is the true person who talks with God. The people who pretend that they know everything, they are deluded, they are delusional. That's what I'm trying to say. You think you know the answer because you want answers in everything, and that's fucked up. That's how what I'm saying about killing people and saying I have the answer. He died because he had to, because this was the story, because this is realistic. No, stop playing God. When you say I know and this person doesn't, no, you are playing God. Step the fuck down from my father's throne. Let my father be God. And stop playing God. You are a fucking human. When the Pharaoh and his army had to face my father in the Red Sea, they thought they would pass and nobody would attack them, because they thought this is the logical thing. Nothing will come on us, but they fucking drowned because they forgot that they are humans, and if they pass across a sea that it is parted in the middle like that, maybe somebody will close it back again like a curtain. So stop being an arrogant and face the reality that you are a human and you are not a deity. Because you are playing God all the time when you say, I know the meaning of Lazarus and the rich man, it's about hell, and I know the meaning of why Gabe died. He died because he had to. You don't know shit. As my father said in Job, where were you when I formed the earth, when I laid the foundations, when I created the stars and the stars sang, when the sons of God were singing, when I put a barrier in the sea, and I said you will go until there. You don't know everything, so shut the fuck up. And I will leave the lesson there. We will play this chapter, and then I will go to sleep.
Charlotte? Back here? Hey. Thanks for coming. Of course. Ethan's dad already pick him up? Yeah, they just left. I just wanted to thank you. Ethan needed today.
Glad I could help. So did I.
Honestly, by the end, I was having just as much fun as he was. He thinks the world of you, you know. After everything, I think you're sort of a hero. Well, he's sort of mine. How creative he is. You must be so proud of him. He was so thrilled to see you show up with the sword. I think that was mostly about the sword. Maybe. But I think he was happy to see you in his world. I'm sorry. I'm okay. Charlotte? God, Alex, don't mind me, okay? Just a lot going on.
You do have a lot going on. I don't mind. Acknowledge you do have a lot going on.
I can imagine. Getting Ethan ready for his dad, the shop, the spring festival. I'm always here if you want to talk about anything. You're really sweet, but I'm okay. Thanks for swinging by. I'll see you at the festival.
You sure? Really okay? You sure? Don't stress her.
Are you sure? If you want company, I'm... Said no! Fuck, don't you listen? Shit.
Okay, she's very angry.
This was a mistake. Where did that anger come from?
Steph has a text. Thanks, you're pretty amazing too, you know, sucks. Dude, yeah, thank you so much. You totally killed it. Award-winning bad material right there. Okay, that sucks. At least Steph didn't tell us that we flirted with her.
Her anger is so intense. Maybe there's something here that can tell me why. Ryan, it's your fault. You were supposed to protect us. Why couldn't you? It's your fault. Everyone loves you. But I can't look at you without thinking about how fucked everything is since you came into my life. Gabe, it's your fault. Why would you teach me to need someone again just to go and leave me all alone?
Can you see that all the questions she has are very much problematic because you don't have the answer of God, from God. You only have your thoughts and nobody responding. And the reason we don't have a response from God is because we have forgotten who my father is and we're worshipping a distant deity, Zeus, who doesn't respond to such stuff. He created us and he left. But my father is compassionate. And that's why it hurts, because people deserve to know everything about everything, because my father says, ask me for those that I have created, for all the things that I have created. And then he says, when you will seek me, you will find me when you search me with all your heart. So we say, where is God? Is there a God? Is somebody there? Has God left the universe? Doesn't he care? And then you have my father saying, ask me, and I will reply. And it really hurts me that when he says, I am the true God, people are denying it and they question it because they inherently believe that if my father exists, they think that he will speak and he will act like Zeus. He will be distant, he won't have any connection with his creation, and he will just so self-absorbed and distant and impersonal that you don't even know if he is real or not. Because my father is more like human than most humans are, and he doesn't play deity, even though they think he would act like a deity.
She's so angry at everyone around her, but there's something else here. Wrong with me? I can't let myself feel this way. When did I become such a fucking monster? Ethan! It's your fault. Why couldn't you just fucking listen?
Oh my God.
You're angry at him. At Ethan. You blame him.
You deserve a better. Okay.
I'm a bad mom, Alex. Charlotte. Charlotte. I hate my son, Alex.
Oh my God.
He's sweet, and he's creative, and he's the most important thing in the entire universe to me. And I hate him. For so long, it was just me and him. It took so long to learn how to be okay with that. And I was. But then, Kate, I can deal with hating Ryan, or you,
No, it doesn't, because people don't just get planted and live like that, like they are whatever. No, no, like my father says that no sparrow, no bird ever falls in the ground like that without the permission of the father. And here we are dealing. Ethan, it was Ethan's fault because Gabe would be alive. No, my father would have taken Gabe or anyways. He took him because it was his time. Because he said, if I care about the birds, then I care about you. Don't worry like the Gentiles. And because I was a Gentile, I was a mystic, I can say that this way of thinking is very, very bad and very wrong. The correct way of thinking is the one that I say, and I haven't mastered it yet because I was for many years thinking my father was like Zeus. So here we are dealing with this, and it's very wrong, and you don't have a counterpart saying no, it's not the fault of the kid, because she said it all comes back to that. No, you think it comes back to that because your understanding of spirituality is just a level higher than the people that Job called friends, but they weren't friends, they were nasty comforters, pitiful comforters, pathetic comforters of Jacob. Okay, in his affliction they afflicted him, in his suffering they made him suffer, in his torment they tortured him. And this is what she does, okay, because he's blaming himself and she's hating on him. If she was a real person, I wouldn't want to be around her. She disgusts me entirely. And I'm not speaking only about the game, I'm saying it all comes back to this. When you have this understanding of spirituality, that everything comes back, that somebody's fault is the reason somebody else died, and you give God attributes to a person, that's deeper than you think, Zay. It's way deeper than you think, because at the end of the day, you are assigning deity attributes to a person, and you get up disappointed, okay? So yeah, what I'm saying is that so your feelings matter, your actions are what matters. So yeah, what I'm saying is that when you think that somebody's fault is that something happened, you are like a nasty comforter of Job, essentially. You aren't gonna go anywhere with this. You aren't a good person. It's one thing you do not to know my father's true identity, and another thing to go out and say such stuff about people. If you say such stuff about people, you can never know my father, because my father loves people. He said love one another. So your feelings matter or your actions matter? No, your actions matter, obviously.
None of that makes you a bad mom. No matter what you're feeling, you always give Ethan what he needs. That's what matters.
None of it fucking matters. He's dead. I wish I were too.
This anger could kill her, and nothing I'm saying is helping. What if I could just take it away? I can do it. I can take her anger from her. What would that do to her? What would it do to me? And even if I can, should I?
Leave her alone, take Charlotte's anger. No, I have no reason to take her anger. She should deal with her nerves. leave her alone. I don't care. Zay, you were also angry with me, and I let you alone. You can't bother people with your bullshit. Not only you, anybody. Like Charlotte, like she has this anger, and no, I'm not gonna take it away from you. Deal with it like a proper adult. Stop blaming people for your bullshit. Essentially, it's not Ethan's fault. It's her fault. She should teach her son not to disobey, and when she told him don't go to the mines, she should not only convince him not to do that, she should also have an eye on him. And she failed, and she's blaming a kid. I wouldn't give a shit about her. I'll leave her alone.
I can't. I'm sorry, Charlotte.
Of course not. Say nothing, apologies, we are sure. No, say nothing, as I did to you, nothing. Fuck you. Fuck you, you have anger issues. Go to an anger management. I can't deal with that. I have my own shit. Fucking have my own shit, I can't deal with that. That's what I'm saying. Anyways, that was the video. It's a long video, and now I really wanna sleep. Have some sleep. I'm really sleepy, so I'm closing the video now, and I hope you liked this, and I will see you tomorrow. Love you very much and hope you contact me. Bye.